Hello everyone, I am back with another 6x8 pocket page layout. I'm making such good progress on my New York album that I want to keep that momentum going. So I'm jumping right into this next one, and this is all about food. After we had been out and about all day and we went to Rockefeller Center and did all that, then we decided we wanted to have a late dinner. And we both like Indian food. It was my friend Natalia and I. And she said, "Do you like Indian?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And she said, "All right, there's a place right up here." So we went in there. It was literally empty, except for us. And I don't know if it was just like a weird time of night or because this place was kind of, you had to turn at the end of the block and it was three spaces in, and the doorway looked really small. So I'm just not sure what the deal was, but I could not believe that we were the only people in there. So we sat down and got served right away. I do have to say the food was fantastic. I loved it. The service, they were not good. And I don't know if they were just bored because we were the only people in there or what, but shame on you, Curry Dreams. I'm going to out you. For not having better service, especially when we were the only table in there. But anyway, I digress. So here are my photos. So this you can see inside of the restaurant here. And then some sauces we had with our naan. And here's the naan. There we go. And then I have an extra photo here of another dish we had. So I will have to do a flip, but I don't know what's going to go on this side. When I flip this up, what's going to be here? I have lots of pocket cards, and I always keep this stash. These are all cards that are specific to travel. I keep them in their own bag, and these are even more narrowed down in that I purposely put only things in here that I thought would work for New York when I started this. So you can see I'm almost near the end of my album, and I still have a ton of these left, so I gathered more than I needed to, but that's okay. And I know there are some food things in here because I knew I'd have food photos to scrap, but I don't remember exactly what they are. So I need to go through there to look for that card and then figure out what else I'm going to do here. I also have this, which is a copy of the receipt for my portion. And this isn't the actual receipt. This is just printer paper. So I scanned the receipt and then printed this out. And I think I'm just going to overlap it on this photo. The problem is now that I see it, I think it's too big. I think I probably need to cut down a little bit on this side, lengthwise, or sorry, widthwise. But then also lengthwise, because this covers up so much, I could lose this part, that says approved or even that says total, and maybe just do from here up. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I have to do something because I just think it takes up too much real estate there. So those are the issues that I have with this layout that I'm going to work on today. And you can join me as I go along and figure it all out today. I did cut down the copy of the receipt and I am much happier with it. Now it will fit like this, and what I like is that you can actually see the green of this bottle right here, and I have green in this photo. So it works. It ties it all together, and even a little green in here on the naan. So very happy that I decided to do that. So my next step is just adhering that. I'll probably put a little staple right here. And then that's probably it for this photo, so pretty easy. So I went through my stash of cards to find one that was going to work for the flip here, and I think I have one. I found this one. Eat well, travel often. That's perfect, right? And the colors even match. These photos, this one in particular, is very orangey. And this is kind of that color that's between orange and red, and there is a little red on the tomatoes there. So I think it will fit nicely in there. Then I have to figure out, okay, do I want anything? Again, I have kind of this dead space problem to deal with. Do I want anything in this corner? And then this will actually sit like this, because when you flip up, it's going to go this way. Do I want anything on here or on this one? So these are always the problems that I have. So I'm going to at least kind of put them in the flip to figure out how it's going to look all put together, and then I'll decide if I want to add anything extra here. So I put the flip together just so I can see what it's really going to look like. So it will fold down. I don't like to use my flips and fold them over the top. It just makes it kind of cumbersome when you're flipping them. So it will fold down. So it's going to go, this will cooperate, flip, and then that's what you'll see. Now, notice this has rounded corners. This does not. Some people are really bothered by that. I'm not a person that gets too bent out of shape over that, which is surprising given like my type A personality. But I'll just leave it like that. It's totally fine. But I do think looking at it that it needs something here, especially because I've got something in this corner. I need something here to kind of balance that out a little bit. So I'm going to look through all those phrases that I have. Remember my handy bag of stuff. And then I have this pile already kind of sitting here that I had taken out of there. And I know there are a couple things in here that have something about food on them. I don't exactly remember what, but it had something about food. So I'll see if I can find something in there. If not, I know I have stamps that talk about food. So if I had to, I'll just make my own label and then stamp on it about food and put it on there. But we'll see what I find. When I went through my stash of stuff, I did not find any of those phrase or word labels that were about food that I liked. Either the phrase wasn't quite right or I didn't like the color or something. So I didn't choose one of those. So I am going to have to stamp and just put it on my own label, which is fine. And I just want to show this is how I have my stamps stored, the majority of them. This one is all about food. It's not completely full in my defense, but it probably will be at some point. But I will go through here, and this is just how they're stored. They're all clear stamps. So I will go through here and find something that would be appropriate for this page. I found this green label, but you can see my pile of labels over here, but it's not quite the right green. When you look at this photo, it's not the same. So I don't like that. So I think I'm going to make my own. So I have pulled out this stamp set I have. This is from Alta New. And so I'm just going to pick one of these, and I'm going to try it in this ink, which is the Wild Wasabi from Stampin' Up. I think that might be a little bit closer. If it's too dark, I do have another choice that I could try, but I'm hoping that this is the one. That was the right green. That's how it turned out, which I love. So I'm going to keep that one. And then I've decided that the phrase I'm going to put into the label is this one. It's kind of hard to see here. It says, "So tasty." So I think that's what I am going with. And just so you know, this is a set by Kelly Perky. Can we see it? There. Put my hand behind it. It's called Let's Eat. It's from last year. I do not know if it's still available in her shop, but you can certainly look and check it out and see if it's still there. I realized that I had never used that particular stamp, so I primed it and then just did a couple of tests to make sure that it was really ready. So now I'm going to do the real thing, and I want to put it more towards the right side because I know I'm going to hang it off the edge of the photo, and so this part's actually going to get cut off. So I just want to keep that in mind when I'm stamping here. And this is the ink that I'm using. It's the Memento Tuxedo Black. When I'm stamping on a regular surface, just regular paper, that is my favorite black ink. If I were doing something on a slick or unusual surface, I would use StazOn, but this will serve just fine since it's just normal cardstock. I've cut out the label that I'm going to use, so I've taken this out of the pocket so I can get that on here. So I am going to just adhere it with it hanging off the edge. I want to make sure that I get the adhesive on the right part of it for when I cut it off. So I want to make sure I go kind of from here over. Oh, and then I did it backwards. God, today is not my day. So we have that ready. And then I'm just going to do it about probably like that because I do want to be able to get a little staple in there. Now, since I ended up doing the adhesive on the wrong end, I want to use my junky scissors to cut it, not my good ones. So if these get adhesive on them, I don't care. These are Stampin' Up craft scissors. I bet I've had these at least 10 years. It's probably more than that, but I'm going to guess 10. So who cares if they get all junky and gross. So there we go. That's on there. Then I'm going to put in my little staple. About there, yeah. So there, good. That one's done. All right. So as I was doing this, though, I realized I have another problem, or I created a problem for myself. I realized, okay, so you're going to flip this, and that's all fine and dandy, but I didn't leave any space for journaling. And I definitely want to journal here because, as I said, I was with my friend Natalia. This was actually the first time I had ever met her. We knew each other online through the Scrap Gals Facebook group and had chatted online and done some Skype scrapping. And so when I was coming to New York, she lives there. And so she said, let's meet up, we'll hang out, we'll do some stuff, which we did. We went to see the play Puffs together. And then after, we went out and did all of this. And then dinner was our last event of the day. And I wanted to talk about, how nice it was to meet a fellow, scrap person that I only knew online before then. And that our conversation flowed very nicely. So it was as if, we had sat down together before. And so I do want to include some journaling on that. However, that means I have an odd number of things here. I need the journaling card, but then I also need another photo because I've got to fill 2 spaces if I add another flip. I do know that in my photos from the trip, I have a picture of the front of the menu that has the restaurant's name on it. So I can print that, but then I have to go find a journaling card. So I'm going to do those things off camera, and then I'll be back when they're ready. So I've got my extra flips in order here, and I've decided, because I have this on this photo and some other things happening on the left side, I'm not going to do anything with this photo. So I've put it in the sleeve. It's good to go. This will be my photo that's in back, and then these are my flips. And you can see, right, why my album is ending up being ginormous. It's because I keep adding stuff. So, you'll flip down. You'll get the card that I already had. This is the one I chose that I'm going to journal on. It just says we were here, but it matches the green pretty closely, so I like that one. Then you'll flip down again, and you'll have the cover of the menu. So I have that in there, and I forgot that it actually had the address on it. So that's super cool because then it shows exactly where we were. So that's fun. And then this will be in back. Now, I felt like it needed something, but I didn't want to do another label because I already have one, on the top. So I think I'm going to stamp directly on the photo. I did do it in matte finish, so that's the best way to go if you're going to stamp directly on it. So now I do have to take out my StazOn just to make sure that it doesn't run all over the place when I stamp. And I have selected this stamp that says good company and good food, because we were friends just hanging out over dinner, and I think that's very appropriate. And this is another Kelly Perky set, but it's in combination with One Little Bird. This is an older one, 2015, so I'm guessing you can't get this one anymore, but look on eBay or something maybe. But just so you know, that's who makes it. So stamping is up next. So the stamping on the photo is done. As you can see, it didn't stamp perfectly. I think I was in a little bit of a hurry and I perhaps didn't push down quite hard enough, but it's okay. It's good enough. I'm not going to cover it up or anything, so slightly imperfect is totally fine with me. So I have that all done. And I actually can just put it right in here. And then I will attach the flips and I'll show the final result. So here's the finished layout all put together. So this is what the front looks like. And then I have the 2 flips. Sorry, my phone is buzzing. So I'll journal here after. And then there. So another one done, getting so close to the end. I'm so excited. And once again, thanks for watching.